This is the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. Now, it's not often that people give you money for free, but the government will actually give you £2,500 towards this car because it's a plug-in hybrid. That's just £10. I'm £2,490 short. Anyway, that means that this car starts from £32,000. Now, if you click up there, you can go to carwow.co.uk along with 2 million other people. There you can build your ideal car, and within 24 hours, 5 top dealers will come back to you with great offers on the car, and you can compare prices without having to haggle. Now, if you buy the diesel version of this car, it actually starts from £25,000. They're like for like when you compare the specifications and match them up. The diesel is about £5,000 less expensive than this hybrid. Now, here on the inside, the Outlander, it's all right. So this is one of the highest specification cars, so it's got quite a few extra bits and pieces on it, such as the leather seats. The entry-level car actually gets satellite navigation, you get rear parking sensors, you get alloy wheels, you get climate control, so it's fairly decent. You do have a smaller infotainment screen. This one has the upgraded Alpine system. Just turn it on. Come on, boot up. It's not the fastest, but then it's not the slowest either. Now, the system itself, it does just feel a little bit aftermarket. The stereo is good with the Alpine speakers, but yeah, using the sat-nav, it ain't great. Actually, if you click up there, you can see my full in-depth video review of this particular infotainment system. In terms of the rest of the interior, I don't mind it. The design, it's all right. And the materials, the ones higher up in the car, they're fine to the touch. Lower down, it does feel a bit cheap in places, but I don't think it's awful. In terms of cubby spaces, well, look at this. There's room for a big bottle under there, if you wanted to do that. The door bins are big as well. And the glove box, that's a decent size. Yeah, it's all right in here. And actually, look, this particular car, it has ISOFIX fittings in the front passenger seat. So if you wanted to, you could put a child seat here. Now, moving into the back, of course, you have ISOFIX fittings there as well. This car does like to make lots of beeping sounds, I must say. There we go again. Yes, I opened the door. Thanks for reminding me. I didn't know because the door was open. I hate it when cars do that. So here in the back, so if I sit up straight, there's decent room. Legroom's good, and you can slide your feet under the seat in front. In terms of carrying 3, well, in this PHEV, you have a fairly flat floor. Underneath it are the batteries, but still, that means there's plenty of room for everyone's feet if you need to carry 3 abreast. And here in the middle, it's actually all right, you know. The only thing to watch out for is this, the roof line there. Look, if I move forward, my head touches this ridge here. And another thing I've just noticed is this. The armrest doesn't seem to fit inside there, so it's not the comfiest on your back if you're sitting in this middle seat. You can also recline these seats a little bit, there we go, to make the boot bigger, or well, make it a bit more comfortable to just sit back and relax here in the rear of the car. Speaking of the boot, let's move on to it. So the first thing I want to show you is just how slow the electric tailgate is. So I can walk around the outside of the entire car in the length of time it takes for the boot to fully open. I mean, look at that, it's just absolutely ridiculous. What's also a bit ridiculous is the boot capacity itself. So on this PHEV version of the Outlander, it is actually reduced in size over the diesel version, and that's because you've got an electric motor underneath the boot floor to drive the rear wheels, as well as an electric motor mated to the engine at the front, which drives the front wheels. The result is this, look. You can't fit much under the load cover. Saving grace is though, look, there's no load lip to lift stuff over. Actually, did you see that? Look how flimsy that load cover is. It's ridiculous. Now, there are some storage areas down the side here, and under here, there's a place where you can store your charging cable. If this was the diesel car though, you'd be able to get a 3rd row of chairs which you can flip out and then turn this car into a 7-seater, but not on the PHEV, because like I said, it's under there. Now, if you need to carry lots of stuff, you can fold down the rear seats. Thing is, on this car, you have to flip out the seat base first, and then you can do it. I'm gonna have to go over here to do this one. There we go. So once you've done that, as you'll be able to see now, you do have a fairly flat load floor, and the overall capacity then is pretty decent. Now, if you click up there, you can see just how much stuff you can cram into this car's boot, how easy it is to fit a child seat, and just what it's like with 3 people in the back seats.
That's all the practical stuff dealt with. Now it's time to see what the Mitsubishi PHEV is like to drive.
This petrol-electric hybrid version of the Outlander is really good to drive in town. So I can press a button down here, lock it in EV mode, and then you can do about 20 miles on a single charge. And so if you can charge the car at work or at home, you can basically do your commute for very little money at all. And it's nice driving in electric only mode because it's silent. When you put your foot down, the motors respond really quickly, so you can dart about through gaps in traffic. And the suspension, it's reasonably comfy over bumps, plus you sit up high and all-round visibility is good, so you can see what you're doing. Now, if you click up there, you can see for yourself by joining me for a 360-degree passenger ride video. Surprisingly, this car can actually do just over 70 miles an hour on electric power alone, though if you do that, you're going to soon drain the battery. And anyway, if you put your foot down, what happens is the petrol motor kicks in. It's not too noisy when it does that, but if you're going high speed and you've left it a long time between charges, you're going to be running this car on petrol power alone, and then it's just not that economical. Now, Mitsubishi claims this thing will do a combined 156 miles per gallon, but I'm actually averaging 69 miles per gallon, and that number can soon drop the more miles you do and the less charging you do. In fact, if you're mainly on the motorway and don't have much chance to charge a car, then yeah, you're better off with the diesel. The problem with the diesel is that it's rather noisy and a little bit rough, and either way, regardless of which Outlander you go for, they just seem to have a bit more road noise and wind noise than something like a Skoda Kodiaq. All versions of the Outlander come with four-wheel drive. However, if you want to do some serious off-roading, you're better off going for the diesel than this hybrid. Where this car is weakest is definitely on a twisty road. So this hybrid version is really quite heavy, so it feels quite ponderous in the corners. But then so too does the diesel. So, I mean, it's not like dangerous or anything. It does grip the road as well as most people need it to, but most normal cars, something like a hybrid version of the RAV4, for instance, does just feel sharper to drive.
Now then, it's time for the CarWow 5 annoying things about the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV.
Some parts of the interior feel really flimsy. For instance, this part broke by putting a bit of weight onto it while getting out of the car. I didn't do it though, it was in. The bonnet on this thing is so blooming heavy that really it should be fitted with gas struts to help you out, and you definitely don't want to get your fingers caught in here. It really bugs me how this armrest snags on the side bolsters of the seats. That's kind of a lack of attention to detail, if you ask me. Even though this particular car is pretty expensive, there's still loads of blanked out switches for apparently missing options. Also, the layout of this bit is all haphazard, and the key holder doesn't actually hold the key properly. It's all a bit too school project, if you ask me. The only sunroof you can get with the Outlander is like those fitted to cars from the 1980s, so you have to operate the blind manually, and the actual opening itself is rather small.
Thankfully, it's not all bad. Here's 5 cool things about the PHEV.
You can get a mobile phone app for the PHEV, so you can monitor the charging remotely. You can also set the climate control so it's at the perfect temperature for when you get in it. You can press that button to charge the batteries using the petrol motor as a generator, that button to maintain a certain level of charge, that button for four-wheel drive lock, and then that button to run off-road in electric mode alone so you don't bother the badgers. I'm so thankful that you can actually turn off the electric operation of the tailgate, and because unlike with other cars, the mechanism isn't in the struts, it's this separate one here. It actually feels no heavier to use then than if it didn't have the auto tailgate. You can charge this car's batteries to 80% full using a rapid charger in 25 minutes. If you can't find one of those, just use this one to fully charge the batteries using a 3-pin socket in 5 hours. Oh, what's all this? Warning, improper use of this charger can result in a fire, property damage and serious injury or death. To help keep you safe, if you're not wearing your seatbelt, then the electronic parking brake won't automatically disengage. Oh yeah, if the PHEVs are rocking, don't come a-knocking. Now, if you click up there, you can go to carwow.co.uk for more information on this car, or any car for that matter, and to compare offers across a range of cars. So, my verdict on the Mitsubishi Outlander. Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, if it was the diesel Outlander, I'd say avoid it, right? There's loads of better SUVs out there. This PHEV though, I reckon you should consider it because there's no other plug-in hybrid SUV at this price point. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it and comment on it. And if you click up there on our logo, you can subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Up there to watch my 360-degree passenger ride video on this car, down there to watch my detailed practicality video review of it, and down there for my detailed infotainment and interior review. Now, did you spot the Easter egg in this video? Well, it was the picture of the Evo 6 with Tommy Mackinnon in the car's glove box.